We're gonna watch it.
We're losing. We have I feel it's asymmetry of Donald Trump and Elon Musk sending out tweets, or you doing social media, and then me doing a 3-minute hit at 3:00 in the afternoon on CNN. I mean, how the hell do we compete?
Well, the reason why you're not competing is because you put your message out there and people don't agree with it. That's the problem. The reason why Elon Musk and Trump are popular on social media is because people want to watch them and they think they're entertaining. That's really the reason. It's bad ideas, not entertaining. And so, like, if you want to get more people watching you, you want to get aggressive in the podcast world, you have to start coming up with better ideas that people agree with. And if you do that, you're going to have people watch you. It's just really just that simple.
We're toast.
Well, I mean, I'm part of it, and credit to you for doing long-form podcasting, because long-form podcasting does penetrate different audiences. It does. Right? And our show does very well. But part of the problem of the Democrat Party that for the health of the country would be great to change is that Democrats cannot survive in long-form podcasting environments. Why? It's too unscripted. It's too masculine, honestly. And the Democrat Party's
He's just coming out and saying it.
What is masculine about a podcast? Honestly, because I get the whole manosphere, this bro podcast
to go
stuff.
into the wilderness with no rules and duel it out and see who's better or who's stronger. No, seriously. I mean, like...
The thing is that he's not entirely wrong. He's not.
Democrats can't.
No, I mean...
we don't do it. No, you're right. We, for whatever reason, don't do it.
You can laugh, but...
It's not that they don't do it. They can't do it. Because a lot of these ideas that they have don't survive scrutiny. And that's the reason why social media has trended this way. And as soon as social media stopped being censored, everybody started thinking another way. It's because the ideas are bad.
Like, who in the Democrat Party...
We're not. You're right.
Will go... I mean, maybe Bernie Sanders, but he only
RFK
went for like an hour and a
when
half.
he was a Democrat.
Well, Bobby, who's now...
fuck. I mean, Bernie Sanders, 83, 84 years old, right? But Bernie Sanders will do it because, again, the reason why Bernie Sanders will do it is because his ideas resonate with a big audience. They do. Like, what you might not agree with them, but you have to acknowledge that a lot of people do. They hold up. Yeah, exactly.
HHS, but like, there's something to be said that if you want to earn the respect of forgotten America, you have to show them that you can intellectually joust with no script, no hard breaks, no producers in the ears, no teleprompters.
Love it.
That's where new media is going. Now, I'll only challenge one thing you say. I am reaching new audiences. I'm not talking to my bubble, because our content is so appealing. It goes in a decentralized way.
And it's not just political.
Well, the reason why you reach new audiences is that you also have rage bait of people that watch this guy because they fucking hate him. So you're always going to have, it's like all these podcasts, like how many podcasts are there where the podcast format is 3 guys, 7 drunk hoes talking about why women are stupid? There's like 4. It's like 4 or 5 of these.
No, it's not political, but like, again, our conversation here is going to go far and wide, right? A lot of people are going to see it. A lot of people are going to consume it because it's also politics and entertainment have begun to overlap, right? And the old adage is, well, politics is downstream from culture. I think politics and culture are indecipherable from one another now. Donald Trump became a cultural phenomenon, right?
He's right. Yeah, he's right about all this. He's absolutely right.
You go into inner city Compton, you'll see guys with Trump shirts with the hand up, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah.
So what Democrats are doing is you're still playing in a very old, hyper sanitized media environment. Right. And my advice is you got to go where it's unpredictable, where it's treacherous, where it's dangerous. Now, I would make a more provocative argument that you wouldn't necessarily resonate with, which is that you guys have not built the intellectual muscle over 30 years because you all agree with each other all the time.
Well, it's not like conservatives are massively disagreeing.
Well, hold on.
Trump has completely collapsed the conservative movement.
I would push back a little bit.
I think Gavin's right. I think he did collapse it, and it deserved to be collapsed because it didn't represent average people.
I would disagree. We have a robust discussion.
Well, it seems like Congress is really doing great oversight of Trump right now. They're holding him to account.
He did? I mean, no. People think it's an L take. Like, I mean, think about like he deleted the entire like Bush family from politics. I think that's a pretty big fucking deal. Like, they were like fucking a cornerstone of Republican conservative politics for like 20, 30 years. He absolutely did. And Romney, where's Romney? All of those guys from back in the day are gone. They're done. And Cheney, done.
It's an important but separate issue. I just want to finish the point, and we could talk about Congress, which is that in the Republican Party, we have immense and vocal and public spats all the time. I think you would agree. We fight
the H-1B visas is a great example of that.
About foreign policy. Look at Ukraine, right? We're talking
Ukraine's another good example. Yeah.
Primary challenging some of these senators that were meeting Zelensky last week. The Democrat Party would never do that. Now, I think that...
Well, that's because you can't question the narrative, because a lot of and especially with the identity politics stuff, because as soon as you begin questioning questioning the narrative, you become an enemy. Like J.K. Rowling, for example.
It is a symptom of an underlying thing. We're constantly trying to find the approximation of what truth is. We're trying to use dialogue towards, hey, who's right? What do you believe? Why do you believe it? And it's by no coincidence that out of the long form podcasting genres, the top 10, 8 of them are conservative or center right. Rogan, Megyn Kelly, Theo Vaughn, the Paul brothers,
Shapiro.
our program, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh. There's a singular one on the left, which is Pod Save America, which is just like a bunch of Obama bros agreeing with each other for 90 minutes and saying...
Well, the reason why also is because mainstream media has been co-opted primarily outside of Fox by left-wing voices. That's the reason why. And it doesn't represent the people at all. And I think that Fox also doesn't represent people in a lot of ways, but they don't represent a different group of people. And so that's really what the difference is. Well, I mean, I don't know about me. I'm not top 10 podcasts, right? I thought about doing my own podcast where I just like interview people like this. I don't know if I would really call it that. I think I would just upload a video if I did it, right? I don't know. Maybe if I did it a lot, I would maybe have like a series for it. But other than that, I have no idea. Interview both sides. Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. But yeah, top 3 live stream though. A lot of people watch the show. A lot of people watch the videos. It's true. But yeah, the reason why a lot of these right-wing podcasts are popular is because the left-wing policies aren't. That's the reason why.
That we're not very smart.
It's obvious.
And and so anyway, but I
appreciate it. No, but it's objective truth, right? I mean, you just dominate this media. I mean, it's medium. But what a
surprise. So isn't it interesting that every medium that isn't controlled by a corporate apparatus that censors and edits everything is dominated by this group of people? So if this group of people is dominating every free apparatus of discourse, then what does that mean?
You're making a deeper argument that we're not, and you didn't say it in a maligning way, but that we're just not capable because we're not hardwired.
Well, I think it's
to be able to participate in this.
Well, I think that it's 2 things. Number one, your upbringing in college campuses does not foster debate like it used to. It just doesn't. It's that it's about silencing the critic and the elevation of the victim. So you do not have the
I think that's definitely true in professional spaces too. Populist always wins. I don't think that it's necessarily a populist policy to not want illegal immigration. This is a common sense position, or a populist policy to not want like trans and like sports. Like I think populist is like one of these like pejorative terms that was used, and it's not really the point. Yeah, it's just common sense. Yeah, that's not what's going on here.
This of robust having to defend your position. It's very monolithic, very centralized. It's very top down. It's quasi-authoritarian. And then secondly, I would just say that the philosophy on the worldview, as I mentioned earlier, that you guys have adopted is that thou which is oppressed will get the most points. You guys don't have thou that has the best idea wins. And because of that, you guys have an elevation of like, hey, we're just going to have a small subset of a minoritarian hectoring hall monitor assistant principal vibe of people.
That's exactly it. People don't want to be regulated by hall monitors. He's completely right.
People telling you that you're not allowed to say these words.
Right-wing media and podcast and Republican leaning has much more money backing it. Why does it have a lot of money backing it? You're very close. Why does it have a lot of money backing it? Because more people watch. So you're going to have more money going into it because more people are watching it. So they're going to make more money. It's obvious. It's more popular. Do you want to pay for an ad that 100 people are going to see or 10,000? Is that easy to understand, or is that a problem? Left wing has no economic backing. The rich won't back the left since they want to take their money away. That doesn't make any sense. Rich people own all of the mainstream media publications. But yeah, that's the reason.
And you can't say that. And we call that political correctness, which in and of itself is hyper-authoritarian. So if you seek to understand why young men are rebelling, it's like, no, I'm not going to go along with this anymore.
Young men don't want to be policed and tone policed by a bunch of cat collecting Karens. And I think that it's happened for long enough, and enough men have been disenfranchised for long enough that they're tired of it. They're tired of apologizing. They're tired of saying that they're wrong. They're tired of admitting that they had some sort of advantage that then is now held against them. They're tired of it. They don't want to be treated that way. Like a 23-year-old guy doesn't want to grow up in a world where advantages are given to people that are not him because of something that happened over 2 lifetimes ago for him. That's it. And so, yeah, I've got to say, I can respect.
Who's right?
I can respect Gavin Newsom for coming on a show like this, right? And I think this is how you get more people to agree with you and at least see you. And it's really not any more complicated than that. Well, apparently he's also also like no longer supporting the trans sports thing. Here we go.
So like you right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate,
but like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. So that's easy to call out, the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace, that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety and depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue I have a hard time with.
What does that have to do with sports?
So both things I can hold in my hand. How can we address this issue with the kind of decency that I think, is inherent in you, but not always expressed?
So like you right now should come out.
Yeah, just say it.
And be like, you know what?
Yeah, it admits it's unfair. Yeah, just say it. Like it's so simple. It's so easy. Just say it. It's an emotional argument. Yeah, exactly. Like, and he's right that the way that trans people get treated is oftentimes unfair. It is. But I think that one of the reasons why is because you have rules like this and it radicalizes people against trans. I think that's exactly what happens. Is that like people see a rule like, oh, they can compete in like a women's sports, and then immediately they see that and they get mad and now they don't like trans people. That's really what I think happens. And also, like, by the way, if you just look at the general population of the world, look at how they feel about it, right? A straw man of trans people? No, I feel like I'm actually extremely fair about it, right? And I feel like I'm one of the only people that is fair. And it's that simple. Don't shove it in our face. Yeah, a lot of people feel like the over-representation is frustrating for them and they don't like it. Whether you agree with that or not doesn't really matter a whole lot. What matters is to whether other people do, basically, right? If there's enough people that feel that way in general.